So here's the thing. I've been in college for the past 4 years now, and I've basically been treating it like a glorified high school at best. Let me explain. My freshman and sophomore year, I attended a community college 1 mile away from my house, literally right down the road, and all I do was go to class and then come home. And then the last 2 years of college, I transferred to a bigger school, but my routine didn't really change very much. The only difference was, instead of a 10-minute commute every day, I'd be going to the train station, taking the train to Midtown, catching the bus, and then finally going to class. And that whole process would take an hour and a half, back and forth. So my point is, I never got around to doing any of the traditional, typical college stuff, like going to parties, or joining a club, or tailgating, whatever that means. And I never really cared for that stuff, so I was fine with it.
I never had that college lifestyle. I would take a train, go to school, and come back home for dinner with my mom.
It's hard that way because you lose the social aspect of school a little bit.
But you gain incredible meals.
But then the pandemic hit, and now I didn't even have the option to do that stuff if I wanted to, which again, my fault for not wanting it to begin with, but it was always nice knowing that I had the option to do it in case I changed my mind. And I was just kind of sitting there like, wow, I really wasted several perfectly normal, virus-free years, didn't even attempt to make one fun memory, and that is when I took a vow. That sounds intense. Basically, I vowed that if things hopefully sort of went back to normal before I graduated, that I would make the most out of the time I had left in school. And that's what I'm gonna try to do. Emphasis on try. Basically, I only have 1 semester of college left, and since Kenora is still very much alive and kicking, I'm gonna try and pepper in some small, safe doses of fun into my lifestyle. You could almost think of this like the movie Booksmart, except instead of doing all of those fun things in one night, I'm gonna stretch it out over the course of the next few months, which might be more boring to watch, sorry. And instead of watching 2 besties on screen kind of going through it together, it will just be me.
I woke up and I had no text messages because I have no friends, and
Okay, so first order of operations on the college bucket list is to live on campus, aka move out of this house. So let's. I told myself that I shouldn't dress up for this segment of the video just because I wanted it to feel as real as possible, but frankly, looking at myself, this is just alarmingly real. This is way too authentic. But anyways, hi, and welcome to Mikasa. So it's been about a month since I moved in, and I finally feel nice and settled in, which is really good. So really quickly, not to make this a home decor video or anything, but I did want to touch on the color scheme of my new place just because I'm pretty excited about it. So yeah, my goal was to create a real distinction between my room back at home and my room here at school, just because I thought that if both spaces felt different, then my behavior would be different here compared to how it was back at home. I don't know, it seemed smart at the time. But yeah, my room back at home was super pink and peach, and my room here is still very pastel toned, I guess, but it's way more green, yellow, and off-white. It feels super cottagecore. Taylor Swift is shaking, and yeah, even though I wanted the vibe of both places to feel different, I still had to bring some essentials from home. So we've got Nelly, my stuffed elephant that I've had my whole life. You know, he's here, he's chilling, he's thriving. And then we've got, as I like to refer to them, the natural and organic homies. So we've got Mycroft, my bonsai tree, and we've got Clementine, my ivy plant. But now, moving on to the main event, the question of the hour being, how's it been living on campus? What's it like? And my answer, shall we get a drum roll, please? It's been average. And I feel so bad for saying that. I really don't want to sound ungrateful. And I, right off the bat, want to acknowledge the privilege I have of being able to live close to campus and have my own bedroom and bathroom and the sweetest roommate in the whole world. But I think the issue was that I set my expectations way too high. And I feel like this is pretty relatable, but my expectations were so heavily influenced by a lot of media targeted at young adults. Specifically, media glamorizing what college or what this lifestyle would be like. I just think of those scenes from like The Social Network where Mark and like Spider-Man go to the final clubs parties, and even when they're just coding in their dorm, it looks so lit. And that has just not at all been my experience, like right down to the coding. I am in a CS class. I have no idea how Mark did all that. Didn't even go to office hours once. I've practically been living at office hours these past few weeks. Anyways, to be honest, I haven't really been going out of my way to make things more exciting. I think I've just kind of been expecting that it will just somehow come to me. And as much as I hate to admit it, it's been kind of hard to let go of that old routine that I used to have. I mentioned how all I do, you know, first few years of college was just go to class and then come home, then just kind of do the bare minimum, probably watch Netflix the rest of the day. And that's kind of what I've been doing here. So TLDR, I need to put in more effort for sure, but I also need to break up with the fantasy in my head of what I think life should look like. And on a less existential note, what have I been doing so far that's kind of fun? I went to Six Flags last week with my best friend. I saw my life flash before my eyes when I rode the Goliath. Oh my god, don't even want to think about it. And tomorrow I'm going to see Dear Evan Hansen. They're doing this free screening for us, and I'm excited for that, you know, getting a little cultured or whatever. I think it was a Broadway play at one point, but that should be fun. And it's all just made me realize that there's so much fun stuff to do here. And by here, I don't even necessarily mean college per se, but just being in Midtown, it has so much to offer. And I think that's what I want my focus to be on these next few months. COVID definitely poses a challenge when it comes to trying to live life normally. Everyone knows that. But there's a ton of COVID safe stuff I feel like I can be doing. Yeah, that's what I want to give my energy to, if you will. So using up my student discounts to go to like museums and art exhibits, movies, maybe see the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra live. That would be so cool. And yeah, I think that would be a really great way to spend the rest of the semester. Granted, it would be awesome to do the more stereotypical stuff like games and clubs and parties and whatnot, but it is what it is. We can still have a ton of fun. We are gonna have a ton of fun. You kidding? It's gonna be so fun. Or so I will tell myself. But last thing that I want to mention, the ultimate pro of being on campus by far has been how convenient and easy it is to go to class. Classes are literally within walking distance of where I live, and I've never had that before in my life. Words cannot express the joy that I feel knowing that I can just roll out of bed and within 5 or 10 minutes I'm at my class building or in office hours. It's so much better than taking the silly old train. Who even takes the train, man?
I don't know, she told me she's leaving tonight on a train.
On a train? Where's she going? Hogwarts?
No, San Diego. I don't know if Hogwarts is near San Diego. I've never heard of it.
Never mind.
But that is all that I have for the time being. I hope this was enjoyable, and I really do look forward to making more of these on hopefully a regular basis and sharing some of the fun that I better have. Like, I command myself to have. But yeah, take care. See you soon.